So we go by identities. The first thing which will come to our mind is, when you look at a person, what is the first thing you will recognize in that person? Whether they are female or male. That is the first thing you notice. And then all other attributes, tall, short, big, small, petite, then the color of the skin, and then the, hair, and then, everything, we start noticing all the outer attributes in another person. But what would I recognize? Who am I? You know? So we identify ourselves with our thought. I am that I think I am. Right? It sounds like that Moses saying and from the burning, the God saying from the burning bush when he met the Moses. So, and there is a European philosopher, I forgot the name suddenly. He says, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Right? Have you heard of it? I think, therefore I am. So we identify ourselves with our thoughts. And the many identities we form, based on, our culture, based on the, nationality, then, to which city I belong to, or where am I living, what do I do professionally. Most of the time we identify ourselves with our profession too. Right? So if I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor. If I'm an engineer, I'm an engineer. Things like that. So this, I was remembering the story. So the disciples ask, how do I answer this question? Truly, who am I? What is that real me? So what this teacher does is there are 5 or 6 of them. Each of them he'll give them a grasshopper. And then he'll tell them, you squish or cut its head open when no one is watching. Okay. Make sure no one is watching it. Okay. That's the condition. No one is watching it. Not no one is watching you. No one is watching it while you are doing. So some disciples find some dark room or dark place. But one of the disciple, he is going everywhere to find, and he'll find a very corner place. He'll go into a forest, and then he realizes, oh, no one is watching it, but I am watching it. How can I do it? And then he'll jump into a dark cave, or he'll go into a dark cave. Then he's ready to do it. Even though I'm not watching it, but I know I am doing it. So that means the condition is not met. And finally, he blinds himself, but he still knows he's doing it. So he knows it. And all of the disciples, are succeeded in the task except this one. And the teacher is very happy with this disciple. Says, but he's happy, but he did not express. He'll ask, why didn't you do it when I gave you the task? He says, I could not find any place where there's no one watching it. Even when I'm doing it, the grasshopper, even if I blind myself, the grasshopper knows I'm doing it. So how can I say, no one is watching? Then he says, what I found, my teacher, my dear teacher, this real me is always present everywhere, in the grasshopper, in myself. And my essence is all pervading. So there is no place where I am alone. There is no place anyone is alone. Because this omnipresent omnipotent, omni-conscience is always there. And the teacher is very happy. Now you understood who you are, the real you. Because of our smallness in our perceptions, we divided ourselves even though we are all one in essence. We are blinded by our perceptions even though we are all one. And in this, various perceptions, various ideas, we are creating so many differences between us. And we are fighting for it. That's another problem. Most of the wars have been created because of the fighting, because of some small things. There's not many things. There used to be a warrior in a town, and he has like the mustache, big mustache. He's very proud of it. He always keeps them up. He oils them very well, right? And he always kind of, turns them like this. And because he's a warrior, everybody is scared of him. He says, anybody in the town cannot have their mustache up when you are in front of me. Put them down, because I'm the warrior. I can kill you. So there's a new guy moves into the town, and this new guy is supposedly a businessman. That this business people have a separate in India especially, they have a separate caste. They're known as Marwadis. Like, I don't know, there is an equivalent here, probably Jewish people are known as business people in the West, in the Western countries. So, and he's not a warrior. He never held any sword or anything, right? And he doesn't know about this condition. So he'll be walking in the street, and this warrior, he's crossing this warrior's home, and the warrior was standing out. Hey, you! Don't you know the rule that you have to keep your mustache up? Down? Especially if you are in front of me, put your mustache down. He says, no way. Even on my death, I'm not going to put them down. And the warrior says, then you are going to fight me now. So the warrior goes inside and he brings two swords. Okay, one for you, one for me, let's fight. And this businessman says, hey, wait, I have to go home and come back. Why do you have to go home? He says, I'm not a warrior like you, I might die. But you don't know my skills, you might die too. So I have, my wife and my children are dependent on me. So let me go and chop their heads off and come back, so that I am free to fight with you. I don't care even if I die. Over the mustache, by the way. Then he tells the warrior, probably you do the same thing. Okay? And then he goes and he comes back with his mustache down. And he says, I thought about it. Okay, it's okay to put my mustache down rather than killing my family and the businessman. And the warrior says, what are you doing? I already killed them, my wife and my kid. He says, now, you should know that the businessman will not do anything free. That's the cost you paid for me to put my mustache down. Anyway, it's a funny story, but a sad story. But the moral is, all the foods in this world are for silly reasons. There is never a good reason for any wars or anything. Even for our differences, with our own families, kith and kin. All the differences are for silly reasons. Because of our small perceptions, we don't let them go. And because we cannot let them go, we are in it. Like the warrior, we are the losers. Even though we win the battle, we are still the losers. I don't know if anyone ever won any battles. Only in the stories. you know, good over evil. But what is good and evil, right? There is always a good and evil. There is some good and there is evil in everybody. There is no one completely good, then there is no one completely bad, evil. You know. See, I mean, we have kind of divided ourselves into so many pieces. So what spirituality is doing is uniting all those pieces. So many came, people like Jesus came, but no one could change the world. Why? Because we don't want to change, number one. Number two, we have never engaged in a process which can unite us. Even in beliefs, there are so many differences. When Lord is one, how can I differentiate one from another? So when these masters, the spiritual teachers of the caliber of Jesus, when they descend, they have only one idea, one wish, that let all become one. Let all recognize that omnipotent, omniscient Father within them. But we forget. And we don't pay attention. Even when we pray to the Lord, is only for our own selfish reasons. Lord, let my neighbor's dog shut up in the night so that I can sleep very well. That's all we could ask. We can never ask, you be with me and let me be with you. We can never ask that. That is enough. We are never satisfied with that. So even our relationship to the Lord is very transactional. And we flitter away that highest potential within us. One of my colleague, she used to say, when we were in Minneapolis, we always used to take bus from downtown. So we used to stay at the bus stop. I just pray to the Lord, see the bus is coming. Just for the bus to come, the Lord has to intervene. The bus will come anyway, 5 minutes after or 5 minutes before. Right? See, we flitter away. I mean, I don't know, I'm not getting the right word. So we don't value the real essence. That's why we ask Him for small, petty things, He has to intervene. We can never ask, let me be with you, or let me be like you. Let me become one with you. So let me be like you means, I don't want to become Jesus. It's not like that. When the rain drops into the ocean, that water drop, when it drops into the ocean, what is the water drop? Where is the water drop? Can we say it became ocean, or it became one of the ocean, or one with it? Its identity is lost. So becoming like you is, I want to be that water drop, which is of the nature of that ocean. When I drops in, we cannot say I am thee or you are me. You cannot say that. So the role of the teacher, a true spiritual as a teacher, what he or she is trying to do is to bring us to that stage where we can become one with it. All our identities are dropped, all our perceptions are dropped, all our shortfalls, shortcomings are dropped. We become one with it. And how long do you have to practice to become that? Every meditation, it's happening. We don't want to recognize it. Every bit of transmission we receive, it's putting us in that stage. But we don't want to acknowledge it because we are still holding on to our identities. So that's why we have to do it again and again and again to recognize that it is happening in every meditation. We don't need years and years of practice. The moment I close my eyes and bring that Lord into my heart, it happened already. But we don't want to acknowledge it. Nor our perception is ready to acknowledge it. So slowly we have to do, subject ourselves to this process of cleaning and doing it again and again, so that somehow, some way, at some point we'll recognize, even though it's happening every time, every moment. So the role of the teacher is to enhance that perception by putting himself into us so that we can feel it. So here we don't have to worship this teacher. What is worship? Is going to do anyway. It has no value, no meaning, at least in this case. Praising has no meaning and no value. Whenever I praise, I have to separate myself from the Lord. I can only be separate and praise, right? I cannot be in it and praise. So praising also, is of no value. So the longing to be one with it, embrace all that love, embrace all that grace, absorb it, become one with it, is the goal. So what is the master here is my own higher essence. This external element is only a catalyst to enhance it. That is the only role of the teacher. Okay. And there is more to it if I have to add, there is more to it. So this enhancement of our perception, expansion of our consciousness happens because this teacher has the ability to transmit it, his own subtle body, into merge with our perception, so that there is a sudden enhancement of our perception to understand, realize. See, consciousness is not alertness. Awareness is not alertness. Many times we kind of mix this. Awareness is not intelligence. Awareness is not a knowledge about something. Awareness is ability to perceive the things as is, without any distortion. But we are not perceiving things as is because we are not seeing that real, I am not seeing it because I am blinded by my intelligence, my knowledge, my information, and my past. So all our life is a projection of past, nothing else. That's why spirituality is all about unlearning, means remove all the past. Not the memory of it, the impact of the past on us. All our reactions are based on the past. So we have to realize and understand and just be in the present. And to bring that mind to the present, we need to meditate. And slowly, surely it happens. And the teacher as a catalyst is working with us. So what is my reciprocation towards that teacher is nothing. Really speaking, nothing. Work upon myself more and more. We are breathing every day. What are we giving back to the atmosphere? Really, nothing. In fact, we are polluting it more. So all that The nature has provided us. The teacher is true spiritual teacher is like that nature, ready to just give and nothing in return. If there is anything I have to return, then it becomes a transaction. We want to buy God for a couple of dollars. That's how our approach has been so far. But when I can make myself one with Him, there's nothing more than I can give back to this highest nature. That is all we are working on. So it requires regular effort. In fact, during this Babuji's birthday, April 30th, which was celebrated in India, his constant message is make your practice regular. In fact, he may give us a challenge that keep one fixed time. If morning 6 works for everybody, keep morning 6. Every day meditate at 6. Or if 5 is your time morning, or if 7 is your time, fix your time. Every day work on it. Meditate at that time. Fix your evening time, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, whatever works for you. Fix your time, do your cleaning. And go to bed at the same time every day. He's saying try this for at least for 1 year, but I am saying let's try this as a group. Here, let's try this for 3 months and see how much change it can bring in us. Fix your time. Okay, at this time I am meditating, at this time I am doing my cleaning, at this time I am hitting my bed, and that means I am doing my bedtime prayer. Fix it. Sometimes you will miss it, that's okay. But fix your time, try to do it every day for next 3 months. In fact, I am opening my Zoom session from tomorrow onwards every day at 6 a.m. You can just join us. There will be no talk, no meditation. No one is giving you any instructions. You can just close your eyes and let's meditate together. If that works for you. Otherwise, you fix your own time, do it on your own time. And see how much change it can bring into us within 3 months. We are not talking years and years of practice. Very regular, all aspects. I'll post on our WhatsApp group the whole full cycle of practice for the whole day, and try to adhere to it for next 3 months and see. If at all you can give back anything, is only your time and this practice. Practicing regularly, that's all you can give to the Lord, nothing else. If I cannot change, what is there? What is in it in my life, right? If I cannot perceive that Lord within me. Emotionally we are perceiving, but are we perceiving it in a true sense? Here all the vocabulary, all words drop. No words. Only the feeling. No emotion. No more blurred by our perceptions. Our intelligence is not blocking us. The true, the self is merging with the capital self, becoming one with it. And that's how we must meditate every time. So try it for next 3 months. Fix your time. If you want to join the Zoom call at 6 in the morning. Let's all meditate together. Okay? All right, it's almost 7:30. We can get started with meditation. Let's begin. So please start meditation.